Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good weekend. We had some decent boxing over the weekend, and one person I wanted to really highlight was Zolani Tete, South African fighter. You probably know he's been to Britain a few times. Knocked out Paul Butler, was that 5 years ago? And he's a two-weight belt holder, world belt holder. And just a very good fighter, someone I've always really enjoyed watching, someone whose style is so attractive. He's a tall, thin fighter. And when he knocked out Butler, I think it was actually 2015. Time flies, doesn't it? Yeah, it was 2015, so that's 7 years ago. And he picked up the IBF super flyweight title. How did he make super flyweight? He's such a tall guy for the weight. And then he won the WBO bantamweight title, I think it was. And also he holds, I think it's the quickest ever world title defense. He knocked out a guy with the first punch, and including the count, he defended his title 11 seconds into the first round. So this guy has always been an exciting fighter. Big, heavy hands, 30 wins now against 4 defeats, 23 KOs. Of his 4 defeats, 2 have been by stoppage. And the most striking was in 2019 when John Riel Casimero knocked him out in only 3 rounds. I was shocked by that. Not that Casimero won. At the time, I did make Tete to be the favourite, but I knew Casimero had a bit of a whack and was coming to fight. Wasn't going to roll over. I didn't think he'd chew him up in 3 rounds though. And then Tete took a long time off, didn't box for 2 years, and then he came back with like a 1-round victory over in Johannesburg. But at the weekend, he fought the flying Jason Cunningham, who was enjoying a real Indian summer of his career and had proved himself to be a very capable European level fighter. And credit to Cunningham, who at the time was, I think he had 31 wins, 6 defeats, and he completely turned his career around and won the British, the Commonwealth and the European titles. And as was pointed out during the commentary, I think Carl Frampton was the guy who said it, Cunningham didn't really need to fight Tete. He could have sat on his ranking and kind of tried to wait for the right opportunity against the right opponent to fight for a world title. But all credit to Cunningham. This guy has never ducked anyone. And he took on Tete, not really knowing, as none of us did know, how much Tete had left. And he, unfortunately for him, he got ironed out in the 4th round. I mean, there were 2 knockdowns, and it was just the sheer power and technique of Tete. And the second knockout was a bit of a chiller, to be honest. Cunningham was on the floor, required a lot of attention afterwards, but apparently he's okay, thank goodness. I gave Tete the 3 completed rounds. So Cunningham was really out of his depth, but at least he can look back on his career. Even if he was to quit tomorrow, he could look back and say, well, I ducked no one. I fought everyone who was put in front of me. Even though I had a world ranking, I wanted to test myself. I wanted to see how good I was. And I really respect that attitude in any fighter at any level. You test yourself. If he's going to fight for world title and win it and keep it, he's going to have to find out how good am I against people like Tete. Tete, again, a proven fighter in the past, but we were wondering, I was certainly wondering, how much has he got left? And clearly he's got a lot left. Because even though you can argue, well, Cunningham has never been world class, he's been sort of top 20, maybe top 15, top 12 perhaps. Those lower divisions are stacked with talent. And Tete is right back in the mix now because it's the manner in which he went about his work. It was a jab fest to start with. And clearly from the first round, Tete was winning that jab battle. He was more poised. He was, he moved less than Cunningham. Cunningham seemed to be moving his feet a lot. His feints were more exaggerated. He was trying to find a way in and couldn't quite do it. And Tete was controlling the range very, very well. Just easing his way into the fight. Having a look at Cunningham. Very, very impressive how he went about his work in such a cool, methodical way. Tete's a southpaw as well, which didn't make it easy for Cunningham. And so tall. I mean, just such a tall guy. I looked at BoxRec earlier today, and he's got like a 72-inch reach for a guy who's a super bantamweight. Just very, very, very good performance. And it does make you wonder, how would he get on with the current world-class super bantams? Well, he's going to be looking for, a title shot, obviously. He's 34 now, Tete. And if he maintains that type of focus, I don't see any reason why he can't make a splash at super bantam. Can he win a title? I mean, the champions we've got, we've got Stephen Fulton, who's very good, not the most exciting fighter to watch, but he's a good fighter. I'm not taking nothing away from him. Murodjon Akhmadaliev is I think he's WBA. Is he WBA and IBF, and Fulton is the others, WBO and WBC. They're going to have a unification. So if I was Tete, I would probably be looking to. He won the Commonwealth title, by the way, against Cunningham. I would be looking to take on some top 15 guys, maybe top 10. Someone who's sort of ranked 7, 8, 9 or whatever, and really make your presence felt. And possibly, if Fulton and Akhmadaliev do unify, who's to say Tete can't be waiting in the wings for, a fight for all the marbles, for all 4 belts? You just don't know. Tete needs to keep busy now. I think, with the benefit of hindsight, I think that break from the Casemiro defeat, which was so bad, I think that did him a lot of good, because he's not a young man. 34 for a fighter at any weight is not young, but it's considered especially older for someone who's in lighter weights. And I think that possibly the break did him good. It let him focus his mind more. His mother passed away, so he had some personal issues. But that can focus a guy's mind. That can give a guy a mission, some sort of cause. Okay, I want to get back in the game and win a title for my mum, You just don't know what goes on through a guy's mind. Fighters' psyches are often very brittle. We think of fighters, as world-class fighters, as being very, very tough men mentally, because they're physically tough, but it's not always the case. And sometimes you do need to go away, take a break, reassess, refocus, and then come back. And again, the manner in which Tete went about his work, I think, was so impressive. I watched a video, it was earlier today actually, Boxing Beats and Rhymes video. I really like that channel a lot. Shout out to him. And he compared, at one point I think the left cross, because Tete is a southpaw, to Thomas Hearn's right cross, I think it was. I think that was the comparison he made. And there was an air of Thomas Hearns about Tete. Having said that, I mean, Tommy was a banger. Tommy came out banging from the word go and had a lot of very early knockouts. So does Tete. But in this fight against Cunningham, he was a bit more conservative, just easing his way, just having a look, a bit more crafty. But when he started to let his hands go, yeah, it was very, very Hearns-like. And can he do that with someone like Fulton or Akhmadaliev? I don't know. But I'd like to see him try. I mean, I really like this guy. I really think he's a very good fighter and deserves a shot. But yeah, just thought I'd say a few things about Tete. I'm glad he's back. Terrific style to watch. Good fighter. I believe he's very, very famous in South Africa, rightly so, because he's a hell of a fighter. They should be proud of him. So yeah, thanks for listening to this video. If you're new to the channel, you could subscribe. That'd be great. Or like the video. Liking the video always helps. But yeah, I appreciate your time, always listening. So leave your comments below if you've got any. Thank you again, and we will speak soon. Bye for now.